Hello everyone, Hikiemi Moriko and welcome to the Moriko Media Awards 2024. This is something I've been wanting to do for years now, and I finally had the time to do it. This is going to be an awards show where I award awards to things I want to award an award. Obviously, this was going to be the Moriko Game Awards at the beginning, but I decided to celebrate other kinds of media as well. Like movies, anime, stuff like I've been watching on the channel or outside the channel too. Because I do believe every type of media that I enjoy should be celebrated and maybe given an award to. Why not, right? These are free. I can do as many as I want to. So anyway, let's just begin the video, right? Before I begin, obviously, this show it's gonna be presented by me, Hikiemi Moriko, and my sister Moriko Imoto right here. And just to be clear, the awards on this show are based on things I did or played or watched this year, as well as things that were released this year, right? Not only that I played them this year, but they were also released this year. And the how I judge every category differs a little bit from the other one, and I go into specifics in each category, right? So it's at the end of the day, it's mostly my opinion. So if you disagree with it, you are free to do so. Let me know in the comments. But anyway, let's just begin the awards show, right? The first category will be Movie of the Year. This category, it's based on movies I did watch this year. I did not watch a lot of movies this year that were released this year. When it comes to movies and shows, I usually watch them 1 or 2 years after they came out, right? So I'm mostly watching stuff from 2022, 2021, 2020, maybe 2023 sometimes. But I watched like 5 movies this year, so it was not a lot of competition to do. So the nominees for this category are, we have Inside Out 2, which I know it's a movie made for kids, right? This is actually the only movie. This is actually the only movie I watched this year on a theater, right? I usually don't go out, but I have the Moriko nieces, right? And I have to go with them to watch the movie. It is what it is, right? It is an animated movie full of random humor and stuff like that. And I didn't quite like it a lot. But for what I can see, the kids really enjoy the movie. And at the end of the day, that's a movie for kids, right? So if kids enjoy the movie and it's a movie for kids, then what else do we need from the movie, right? Then we also have VHS Beyond, which is VHS is one of my favorite movie series. It is a horror anthology for those who don't know. Really good. The VHS Beyond, it's mostly based on space stuff. So I wasn't sure I was quite going to like it, but it did surprise me in a good and in a bad way too. And the Platform 2, which is the sequel to, you guessed it, the Platform 1. And I really liked the Platform 1, but I wasn't quite sure the movie was going to need or deserve or exist, like the existence of a sequel was needed. And I can say for sure it's not as good as the first one, but is whatever, right? So the winner for this category is the VHS Beyond, right? As I mentioned before, and if you have spent any amount of time on this channel, I'm a big fan of horror anthologies, right? Be it like a series, like a movie, games, whatever. It's really, really enjoyable. And obviously this movie did not disappoint in the fact that it has like many stories. And even if you don't like one of the stories or two, there's always more, and they are sort of connected. They have like a general theme on it, so it was really solid. It's not the best VHS movie by any means. Not even the best movie whatsoever, but it's enjoyable, right? And it's the best one I watched this year, so yeah. Sorry about that. Next one, we have Song of the Year. Again, for this one, I don't listen to a lot of music. Most of the songs I listen to It's either like soundtracks from games that I don't think quite apply to be a song, or songs from like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, maybe. So anyway, the nominees for this category are... We have Six Launch with Without Any Words. This is the one of the opening themes for the new Bleach anime, Thousand Year Blood War. We have Cosmograph with Costumes, which is the theme song for Red Hood in Nikke, the gacha game. And we have Akasaki with Bonnie Girl, right? Which is a really nice song. Actually, this is a great moment to recommend anyone watching this to go watch these movies. Go listen to this music, like everything that wants an award in here, I'm sure it's high quality. But with that being said, the winner for this category is... Costumes by Cosmograph, right? I think this is a great song. Not only it comes from one of my favorite games right now, but it's really well done. It's a very like thematic song about the costume that Red Hood is wearing. So yeah, very good song. I recommend it. And the next category is Comic Media of the Year. This was supposed to be Comic of the Year, but I haven't read a lot of comics recently, or ones I like anyway. So I have to broaden it to Comic Media of the Year. This includes like comics, like visual books and movies, of course. And the nominees for this category are Wonder Woman Dead Earth, which is a comic book, of course, where Wonder Woman, it's the last quote-unquote person on Earth, like superhero anyway, and she's using like Batman's utility belt and Superman's like clothes and stuff like that, and she's like trying to fight this dark. It's very dark. It's DC Black Label, I think it's called, which is like comics that are for like adults and not just like teenagers or kids. So it goes like a little bit harder than your usual comic. We have the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths trilogy. This is 3 movies that released this year, animated movies anyway, which I really recommend you guys watch. It's really good. Obviously, to watch these movies, you have to go back and watch like other movies that build up to this trilogy. So it's overall a very nice watching experience if you sit down and watch like hours and hours and hours of comic movies. I quite really like this movie. It's such a shame that this is the only movies that came out this year from DC, but I mean, still good. And we have Nightwing 2024 release of the Nightwing comics. To be honest, I didn't read a lot of these comics coming out until this year. And it was good, but I didn't read a lot, but I didn't have anything else to include in this to make 3 nominees, right? So I decided to include it. Anyway, the winner for this category will be, or is, the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths trilogy movies. This is 3 movies, and to be honest, it's really good. I wish it was just like one big movie, but I understand it's really complicated to do that, especially with animation, right? It's like 6 hours. A little less than 6 hours of movie, I think. But overall, pretty solid experience. If you have read the Crisis on Infinite Earths comics, it's a little bit different, like quite a bit different actually. But the end result, it's about the same. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I recommend you guys watch this movie. And for the next category, we have some glitchy graphics apparently. But we have Manga of the Year. As you know, I'm a big manga fan, and I have read many mangas, but not many mangas that are currently released or they finished this year or whatever, right? So the nominees for this category are... first one, we have Aitsuno Kanojo, which means his girlfriend, and by his I mean my friend. This is a manga about like a love triangle between the protagonist, his friend. It's not exactly a love triangle. It's just like the friend's girlfriend kind of being slowly a it's not quite like that. It's actually a more complex story than it might seem just by this. Yeah, it includes kind of sort of like Netorare a little bit. It's not that kind of thing. Don't worry about it. It's not a doujin, right? But the story is actually quite interesting, and it's one of the only few things that I've been reading now recently. But I do recommend you giving it. If you like that kind of thing, like a little bit edgy, a little bit like romance comedy, I recommend it. The other one, it's 100 Stories of My Own Death. It's got stories, but it didn't quite fit the title there. This is also a horror anthology manga of a kid telling you spooky stories. And each spooky story, it's 100, of course, right? So it's not over yet. It has like quite a few episodes left, but it's almost done. So right now, it's the perfect time to catch on this manga. Each story, it's different. Obviously, it's an horror anthology, but there's like one overarching story about them all, the story of the kid. And it's really interesting because the last couple of like pages of each episode deal with the story of the kid, and it's like, oh, what is happening, and you read a cool story, but you get like glimpses of the big picture, right? I do recommend it. If you like horror, it's a bunch of Japanese classic tales, right? Some like made up, some classics. It's pretty well done. And the last one, it's Eden Zero, right? Which is one of the best mangas, the second best manga, I would say, by Hiro Mashima, which is my favorite mangaka. Eden Zero finished this year, like it's done. It was over this year, and I have to say it was not the best. It has some like weak moments, but at the same time, it really did have some really good moments. So anyway, for this category, the winner is Eden Zero, right? So I have to give it to Eden Zero because it just finished this year, and again, it was not the best thing ever. But I really quite enjoy it, and it's not every day that like a big manga like this one finishes. So I do recommend it. It's not as long as Fairy Tail, and it's not as good as Fairy Tail, but it has some solid moments. And if you like shonen manga, it might be a good read. I think it's as good as any other shonen manga like Naruto or like One Piece, whatever. I don't like One Piece, but whatever. Let's go. So the next category will be, of course, after manga, it comes anime of the year. And I have to say, I haven't been watching a lot of anime lately. Not only this year, but like the past couple of years. I watched like maybe 1 or 2 animes, and it's always all the time. It's like older animes. I'm never watching the new stuff because it sucks. I'm gonna be quite honest. I don't really quite like new anime. Like a lot of them, it's really bad, or like I don't have time to watch it. I don't know. I don't have time to try new anime, right? So the nominees for this category are: we have Dungeon Meshi, which is one of the few animes I did watch this year. It's good. It's quite different to other animes. The animation quality is something else, and I would say, like, just based on other people's opinion, I would say like this is one of the best animes that had came out in recent times, and I did quite enjoy it. But it also I don't think it's as good as people make it out to be, right? Dungeon Meshi is like, it's like good but not great or amazing. I mean, it's great but maybe not amazing. We also have Blue Archive, the animation. You know me, I love my Blue Archive. I think the animation, it's as good as any adaptation of game anime will be, like Persona, the animation, stuff like that. Like, it's good, it looks nice, but it's not great, and sometimes it looks kind of cheap. But I still love Blue Archive. And the last one, it's 2.5D Jigen no Hirisa, right? Which is based on a manga. I actually was about to put this. I've been reading this manga for the longest time, and I was about to put it on the manga nominees, but I said like it has to be one or the other, so I decided to put it on the anime. Because I've been really enjoying the anime. The animation, it's really good. It has a really good first ending, but the second ending, it's kind of cheap too. Like, I feel like they are running out of budget for this anime. But from what I have seen, it's really good. It's not a faithful adaptation of the manga, but in this kind of manga, it doesn't really matter that much, right? But I really enjoy it. The story of this manga, it's just a guy that it's a lonely otaku that it's only in love with 2D girls, right? Can't relate. So I like to watch anime where I can relate to the MC, because obviously I want to live through them. and he meets this girl that likes to cosplay this really lewd character that he likes. So it's a 2.5D girl, right? Like between dimensions and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, this girl looks just like my wife cosplaying. I love her, but no, I only love 2D girls. And it's really funny. There's a bunch of girls, and it's a harem manga at the end of the day, right? It's not perfect, but I am enjoying it a lot. And it's been a while since an anime made me laugh so much, and I'm so happy to watch it. So the winner for this category is 2.5D love. No Didisa, right? I just called it like that. As I mentioned, this is the one I enjoy the most. I have my anime taste. This is called the Moriko Media Award, so it's obviously gonna be biased towards what I like. I know the Dungeon Meshi fans are gonna kill me for this, because like Dungeon Meshi is the best anime that has ever come in these recent times. Yeah, I know, and I know, like, if you watch this anime and it's just like a bunch of fan service and girls, and by the way, this girl that you can barely see on the back, like the one that has short black hair, that's just me. If you watch the anime, it's just me, but in a girl in girl form, and I love it. I love when there's a character that is just like me for real in anime. So I recommend it if you are a little bit of a social outcast. If you like anime, I think this is an anime for like all anime fans, not like whips or anything like that, but like actual anime fans that have been fans for like 20 years. If you watch this, I'm sure you can relate to a bunch of things, because it's not like, oh, anime is cool and everyone likes anime and anime is like the most normal thing. Like, you're still being like outcasted because you like anime. So it feels real, and in that sense, it's really, really good, right? Now let's continue. The next one, it's a little bit glitched too for whatever reason. This stream is so scuffed. But it's esports team of the year. You know, esports, playing sports, but it's not a sport, it's a video game, and you play in a team and stuff like that, right? I know this is like a weird category to put in here, but I don't really watch esports. The only esport I do watch, and I don't watch it as often, it's the League of Legends Championship Series. And the nominees are Genji, which is a Korean team, T1, which is the GOAT, and it's obviously the best team that ever exists and that will ever exist, not biased whatsoever, and FlyQuest, the best American team in my opinion, because I like to root for home teams, right? I'm not gonna waste a lot of time because I'm sure people don't know anything about this. So the winner of this category is obviously T1, which is the 5 times world champion. It won the world championship this year too. So obviously they are the GOATs. They are gonna be the GOAT forever. Obviously they have to win. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this category every year. I just wanted to do it to give the award to T1 because I do believe they are the best team. So let's continue with this. The next category is Esport Player of the Year. And this is something I quite like, because I think like being an esport player, it's really something. Like, you have to be the best of the best in whatever game are you playing, and you have to dedicate all your time to playing that game. And as much as I love all the games, I don't think I could ever be an esport player, because it requires amounts of like dedication that I simply do not have to one thing. And the nominees for this category are, so we have Chovy, which is from Genji. We have Faker, which is from T1, which is the GOAT, which is the best player of all time. And we have Kiria, which is also a really good player on T1, right? Yeah, I'm including 2 T1 players, not biased whatsoever. Actually, I was going to include like Zeus in this, but recent drama with Zeus led me like a sour taste in my mouth, and I quite don't like him anymore. So I decided to include the other GOAT, which is Chovy. Chovy has been trying really hard, but I actually can relate a lot to Chovy. He works really hard. He's really good at what he does, but he never accomplishes quite as much as the other people around him. So understandable for Chovy. But obviously, the winner of this category is Faker. Obviously, he's the GOAT. He will be the GOAT forever. He has won like 4 times as much awards, like real actual awards that give you money and prestige that any other player. Like, he's the best of the best of the best, not only on League of Legends but on every other esport. Like, you watch him play. Like, when I was just starting playing League of Legends many years ago, I watched Faker play, and the plays he did, like, he's not human. He's like You know when there's like these isekai animes where people get transported into a video game, and there's like this really cool guy. I'm gonna use like Sword Art Online as a reference, right? And there's like Kirito, and it's doing like, oh my god, this guy is the best. It's doing something that seems impossible, but it's kind of cringe. Well, it's not cringe when Faker does it because he's actually doing it in real life, and you're like, fuck, how he is so good. Like, I recommend you guys go and watch one of Faker's streams. Like, he plays so fast. Like, I consider myself someone that can do like recognize things really, really fast, and he's at least 4 times as fast as I am doing that, so it's really impressive. So yeah, if you want, watch. I'm also reading the comments, but I'm not gonna comment on the stream comments because this is like a more serious stream. But I'm reading your comments, guys. Don't worry. Next, we have Cosplayer of the Year. Now, I'm not quite versed in cosplaying. I don't know. I'm not a cosmaker. I don't really know how to do cosplay. I have never done cosplay in my life. Never. And I don't think I will. I don't like doing cosplay myself. However, I like looking at cosplay. I like looking at pretty women that look like anime girls, or they are just like cute or beautiful. Who doesn't like to look at beautiful things, right? I like to look at cute doggies. I like to look at beautiful flowers. Of course, I like to look at beautiful women. And if they're cosplaying and I can like trick my mind into thinking they are like 2D girls, it's even better, right? So the nominees for this are we have, I just call her Mimi because it's like me, it sounds kind of weird, right? Which is a cosplayer that I know mostly for cosplaying Narmeya from the Grand Blue Fest, and also I think she cosplays as Galleon too, right? She's really, really beautiful. This will be the biases of the bias, yeah. There's also Shinonome Umi, which I think I have mentioned at least 5 times in my streams before. She has a channel where she streams and sometimes builds Gunpla. I don't know if you guys know what Gunpla is, right? She's like building little robots, painting them. I love that. I could never afford that hobby, so I like to watch people doing it. She's also a very beautiful cosplayer. She's cosplaying Rapunzel for the Nike stream, which it really surprises me how well done it is and how well the character fits it. She's really good. I don't want to be a creep, right? I want to be really weird and like, she's so beautiful and stuff like that. I like how she looks. Okay, what do you want from me? And then we have Toton K, which is the official cosplayer for Lydia in the Grand Blue Fest too. Yeah, my cosplaying is limited to the things I like. Anyway, the winner for this category is... I mean, it shouldn't surprise anyone, right? I think this is the cosplayer that I mentioned the most, and the one I actually watch the content, because she not only cosplays as characters I like and do things I like playing gachas and like building gunpla and stuff like that. Of course, she's cute. I'm not gonna act like, oh yeah, guys, I watch it for the plot. Yeah, I watch it for you know what? You know why people look at cosplayers? Don't play dumb. I know it too, but like, she's also an interesting person, and that's actually a plus, right? I think like being cute. Yeah, there's 100 billion cute people. Being attractive, there's like 1 billion attractive people in the world. But being like cute, attractive, and also have interesting hobbies that you can enjoy watching her do. I think that's a cool thing to do, right? So let's move on before I get called a weirdo. Let's move on to the next one, which is my waifu of the year. Obviously, this award it's for the character I love the most, as someone that only loves 2D people characters. Anyway, let's just get done with this. The nominees for this category are they are Nier, Nia, and Nier, right? This was a really hard choice to make, to choose the nominees, because there's a bunch of characters I like. Of course, there's Himari from Luarkai, Troni from Nike. But at the end of the day, do we really have a choice on who we love, right? Yeah, I'm sure this is not a surprise in the slide list, but I wonder who's gonna win. So the winner for this category is... Of course, it's Nia, right? It's my favorite character. I just recently, like a couple of days ago, I was reading one of her Fate episodes that I somehow missed. It's the most recent one from the Yukata, and man, it's just it just tugs on my heartstrings that the need to protect someone, it's really really big one on this character. So let's continue. Again, these awards are not biased whatsoever. And talking about not biased, we have the next award, which is Vtuber of the Year. As you know, I don't really watch a lot of Vtubers. I used to spend more time watching Vtubers like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I would say like 5 years ago was my biggest time watching Vtubers. I will watch Vtubers every day. I will watch dozens of Vtubers, like indie Vtubers, corporate VTubers, Hololive, Niji Sanji, whatever, right? But the moment I decided to become a VTuber myself, I kind of didn't have time to watch more VTubers. And also, I did notice that most VTubers just were doing the same thing. And honestly, who has the time to watch 100 people do the same thing slightly different at slightly different times, right? So I'm not throwing shade at other VTubers, but I don't really watch much VTubers anymore. I think I watch like 3 VTubers, and like maybe once a month I actually tune into a stream, because again, I don't have the time to be a VTuber and watch VTubers. So anyway, the nominees for this category are Moriko, of course, one of the best VTubers ever. She recently just came back. He's actually right here co-hosting with me, just mimicking my mouth movements. And of course, the best VTuber of all time, Hikiyami Moriko des. Obviously, not biased whatsoever, by the way. And the only bit I wanted to include one more VTuber, because I know this is a joke category. We all know this is a joke category, but I actually wanted to include the one VTuber that I think I actually watch daily, which is Watakashi Uno, right? This is a VTuber that I really really like, because she was another VTuber that I shall not mention here because VTuber rules whatsoever, right? I really like her previous VTuber persona. It was actually my favorite. I mentioned this before. And she came back as this other VTuber persona because reasons, right? And I really enjoy her a lot. And I actually watch her every day, because when I wake up really early in the morning to make breakfast and lunch and prepare for work, she's streaming. So that the timing of her streams actually match with my free, quote unquote, free time. So every day I tune to her streams. She does some amazing streams. She's like really fun. I actually practice my Japanese listening to her. So I really, really enjoy her. But, you know, at the end of the day, this is for the best of the best. And we all know the best of the best is me. Obviously, this is a joke category. We all know it. Shut up. This is the Moriko Awards. Of course, I'm gonna win. Next year, I promise, next year, it's gonna be an actual VTuber contest. I will make sure to watch at least 3 VTubers daily. To make an actual award, but I have to win the first one. If I don't win the award on my awards, what's the point, right? No one else is gonna give me an award. And now we have some real one that it's this actually not biased whatsoever, and it's the Hikidachi of the Year. Obviously, Hikidachi is the name of my fans, which I came up recently with the name. This was really hard, number one, because I don't have a lot of fans, which I think it makes it easier in a sense. But the second one, I have so few fans that actually watch my videos and stuff like that, that it was really hard to choose, because I feel like the ones that don't win are gonna feel bad, and I didn't want to make anyone feel bad. But I think it will be a funny way to celebrate the effort people put into me, right? Because not celebrating the people that watches my content and talks with me, I think it also will be disrespectful. So I was conflicted between being disrespectful by not doing this award, or being disrespectful by not awarding it to everyone, which doesn't really make sense for an award show, right? So the nominees for this category are, let's just see the nominees. It is Munimi Reset, that I never know if I'm pronouncing the name right. I think it is like Munimi Reset, I don't know, Reset. It's Als, and it's Han Solo, right? So obviously this is not a direct competition. It was really really hard for me to choose, because obviously we know Munimi has made a bunch of fan art for me, and for that I'm infinitely grateful for that. But also, Als, you have watched all my content for a year. I'm kind of worried about you, man. But thank you. And Han Solo, obviously, he comes where he can. He's like really nice on the chat. He even gifted me a game, which is something also other people did. Again, it was really, really hard, and I don't want to make anyone feel bad. But obviously, like, just being honest, there's only one people that have been supporting me the hardest, and the winner for this category is Alts. And of course, again, Alts wins, but I want to be clear, I'm grateful to anyone watching this, even the people that watch and don't even comment on the chat. It's okay, I appreciate it. The ones that watch a few videos, the ones that comment once every blue moon on the Discord server, I appreciate it. I know not everyone can spend all the time on me, I understand that much, but at the end of the day, there's clearly a winner in here, and I think it will also be disrespectful to not be thankful to the person that supports me the most. Thank you so much, Alts. Next we have Gacha of the Year. Again, you know me, I really don't play a lot of gachas, but the ones I play, I really love them. So it was really hard to choose. The nominees for this category are, we have Grand Blue Fantasy, which is the one I have been in love the longest, 10 years in love with this game. Varying amounts of love, of course. The game has been falling down in recent years, like the last 2 years. Then we have Blue Archive. Again, I love it so much. It's the game I play the most on my phone. Actually, it's the only game I play on my phone because I play the other two on PC. And we have Goddess of Victory, Nike, right? Which is the game I'm currently most obsessed with. And the way I decided to judge this category was, what is the best, like, what is offering me the most for my time? Because as you know, gacha games are free unless you decide to spend money on skins or units or rolls or whatever, right? I'm a free-to-play player in all of the games. The only game I actually spent some money is Grand Blue Fantasy. I got some skins a couple of years ago, but it was like, I've been playing for like 7 years. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give $20 to the developer. I think they deserve my $20. I've been playing this game for years, right? But aside from that, I have never paid for rolls in Grand Blue Fantasy. Well, only once, but it wasn't my money. My crew gave me money to spark Narmeya. Thank you, crew, so much. I will never forget that. But I haven't spent my own money in any of these games, right? And I don't like to spend money on gachas. So I'm judging these games based on the free-to-play experience, my free-to-play experience. And again, I love Grand Blue Fantasy. I've been playing that the longest. But at the end of the day, the winner of this category is Goddess of Victory, Nike. Now, why I decided for Nike to win, you will be like, oh, you love Grand Blue Fantasy, you're playing it the longest. Yeah, I've been playing it the longest. I really wanted to give the award to the game, but this is about how the games behaved this year. And sadly, Grand Blue Fantasy, it's like, for it to be the 10th anniversary, I think it was a really overwhelming experience of a game. I barely played the game more than necessary this year. So sad, but hopefully next year it fixes its problems and I can give the award to Grand Blue Fantasy. However, Nike is so good. Like, for a free-to-player experience, they give you a bunch of roles you can save. If you play daily, like 1 or 2 hours daily at most, which is such a little time for a gacha to be consuming. I actually finished my daily content on Nike in under 1 hour every day. And it's fun to do. It's actually fun to play, not full auto. It's actually fun to like actually play the game, like sit and shoot things on your own. It's actually fun to play. Grand Blue Fantasy is completely full auto. Blue Archive as well, mostly. Nike is been releasing banger mini games time after time after time. They have the arcade for the mini games. You can play a bunch of mini games if you want to. You can go to the main story. You can interact with your Nikes. It's visually beautiful. The enemies are amazing. The girls are beautiful. It is an amazing game. Obviously, it deserved to win. I know people don't have time for gachas and maybe don't have time to be looking at booty jiggling around while shooting a machine gun. But if you have the time, if you want to play one gacha game, let it be this one because it will not disappoint you. Now, the next category will be Video of the Year. This is where my content gets awarded. The Video of the Year category, it's based on number one. I didn't choose these videos. It's the one that has more views and more engaged on my analytics, right? I just let YouTube choose this for me. And the other rule is not more than one video by the same developer. Like if it's an indie game or a stream, like not more than one Nike video, not more than one developer video, right? Now the nominees for this category are, of course, it had to be, because it's still my most viewed video. It's Dead Dating. you know, my gay romance love story, murder story, whatever. I hate that this is my most watched video, and this year it's also the one with the most views. The other one, it's a House for Alessa remake. Of course, you know, my Avidoso videos always do great. And we have The Wrong Side of the Bed by Owls, right? So we have two indie games. We have three indie games actually, because this is just videos. This is not streams. This is just videos. Of course, from this, like, they have the more views. So it came down to which video I enjoyed doing the most. And I was thinking, like, Avidoso games are gonna do great because they are Avidoso games. The gay video does great because it's gay. I really don't know. So it came down to my decision, and it was like, which game I enjoy playing the most. And I obviously I didn't enjoy the death dating. It was funny and weird, but I wouldn't say I enjoy it. And the remake of A House for Alessa, it's honestly not my favorite Alessa game. So I have my, oh man, I don't like this of this game. So the winner of this category is Wrong Side of the Bed by Owls. So this really surprised me because it's what people apparently call, or like someone, the developer at least calls, grayscale yaoi. I really like this game because I have been playing a lot of visual novels over the years, and I really get tired of playing visual novels because it's reading a lot, right? It's reading. And it's okay, it's a visual novel, obviously, right? And you're not supposed to read them out loud. But the thing with this visual novel, it's like, it kept me wanting to read what's happening, and it wasn't like a lot of unnecessary text. Like, it goes straight to the point, and the visuals were like actually fantastic, and it's something different from what I was used to of this developer. So I do think that the fact that this video performs so well, not being of a super famous developer like Avidoso, I'm not using the, well, I guess it's kind of gay too. Why my best videos are gay, I don't know, but it is good, and I recommend you guys to play it if you haven't played it yet. It's available on itch.io. So the next award, it's Stream of the Year. Now, the first one, the previous one was for videos. This one is for streams. Obviously, I think this is the year that I actually took streaming seriously. I only started streaming seriously last year, and this year was my year with more streams. Well, just go watch my video if you can play it anymore, the previous game. So the nominees for Best Stream of the Year, and again, this is based on the streams with most views on my channel. It's the Granblue Fantasy Guild War 1000 meat farming. We have the Blue Archive Smash or Pass, and we have the Nike Trony Gacha Pools, right? Which is the one I got my wife Trony. The Smash or Pass, which was like really fun because it was a bunch of characters, and I was losing my mind by the end because there were so many characters, and I had to Smash or Pass, and there were like these little girls, and people were judging me, and I didn't really care, but it was an amazing stream, right? I also enjoy my Granblue Fantasy meat farming streams that are no longer a thing because farming meat has changed fundamentally since then. And obviously, I do enjoy doing Nike Gacha Pools, especially because I only do it like 4 times a year because I have to collect a bunch of draws to make it interesting. So the winner of this category is it's the Blue Archive Smash or Pass video. This was, if I'm correct, maybe I'm wrong, my first Smash or Pass video. I think the first one was Digimon, but this was the one like more serious Smash or Pass video that I did. I really enjoy doing it a lot. I wish I could do it more. Like, I will eventually do the Smash or Pass for Granblue Fantasy. I will eventually do the Smash or Pass for other things. I do like rating girls. I do think my taste in anime girls is the best. Like, I don't want people to like the same things I do because they're my waifus, not yours. But I did enjoy doing this a lot. It was something that pushed me to actually do more tier listing, which is also something I've been enjoying a lot doing recently. And it actually performed really well, probably because of the thumbnail with like the big titties and legs and everything, as well as the Trony one has the feet. I feel like doing this kind of thumbnail just works, but I don't want to like horny bait people into watching my videos and streams. Anyway, let's continue. Next, we have Indie Developer of the Year. This is where the Jummy thing begins, right? Yeah. Let's go. So you know, this channel, it's mostly about indie games, right? This is channel mostly about indie games. Now, I play a lot of indie games this year. Actually, coming back, I know this seems like a really short video, and it's like, oh, Moriko just doing random stuff. It's a little bit scuffed. I know this award show is not perfect, and it's a little bit scuffed. But I actually did a bunch of research to choose these games, these videos, these anime, these movies, right? I went and did research. I didn't want to give an award to something I didn't want to give an award. I rewatched a lot of my old videos, and actually coming back on this year, I didn't play as much indie games as I thought I was playing. I think I played more indie games last year than this year, but it's because I've been streaming this year a lot, right? So obviously I cannot stream and play indie games at the same rate or I will explode. But I did play a lot of bangers this year, and the rules for this category, it's obviously the one I enjoy playing the most. Like, views have nothing to do with this. Views have nothing to do with the Indie Developer of the Year. It's the developer that I think grew up the most this year, or like I feel like I have seen, I do read, when you guys make, like, I don't know if any developer is, I don't know if any developer is watching this or is going to watch the VOD, but every itch.io post or like update you write, I read them. I take my time to read it. Like, a lot of time it's invested with me reading your post on itch.io and like of your updates, how the game is doing. Sometimes I go into games I like and I read the comments to see if people are liking the game or stuff like that, because I want to know other people's opinions. I want to see if the developers are doing good, they are gonna update this game they abandoned, stuff like that, right? I do invest a lot of my time on indie developers, which it was the same way for them. But anyway, so these are the developers let's show the nominees first, right, before I keep talking. The nominees are AB Doso, of course. It's one of the most hardworking developers I know, not only this year but previous years. Fever Dev, which I have seen release a bunch of games this year too, and I haven't played them on the channel, right? I don't have time to focus on this much on like one developer. I want to discover new developers, but I've been playing the Fever Dev games on my own time, just like a little bit. I never finish them, but I just like play a little bit. I want to play them on the channel, but then again, don't have the time. And of course, ALS, which is have been developing more games this year, or like progressing more into the quality of the games went up, right? So again, I don't think all of these three developers and a bunch of other developers deserve to be here, but then again, there's only 3 spots, and the winner for this category is, I mean, obviously it has to be AB Doso, right? If it's gonna be the first Moriko Awards, and it has to be AB Doso, right? Now, granted, I have to say, going back into this year, I would say I like more of the previous year's games of AB Doso, like 2023 games. I like them a lot. I would say like most of the 2024 games I didn't found quite. They are good, obviously. I do enjoy them a lot. I did play them. I play all of them on the channel. I enjoyed most of them, like 90% of them. But I would say the most banger AB Doso games are from 2023. But still, 2024, we have Julia Was Alone, right? Which was like a really different thing to do. And I honestly, the sheer amount of work this developer puts into making games. Like, I have seen this developer make more games this year than 4 or 5 of the other developers I like to follow combined. And it's wildly different projects, right? Because doing the same thing over and over again, it's easier, right? But doing like different things every time, like a chapter episode, collaborating with other developers and artists, that's what it is about to be an indie developer, right? And I do think if you're gonna embody what I do believe a developer should be, I think you deserve to win this award. Not that the other developers don't deserve it too, but then again, there's only one winner, right? So again, I would recommend everyone to go play the games of this developer. If you don't have the time, at least go watch my videos if you want to. But yeah, this was a great year for playing indie games. Obviously, AB Doso games too. So let's continue with the next category, right? Next, we have AAA Game of the Year. Now, this is a little bit different than my definition of AAA game, it's a little bit different, but it's obviously games made with a bunch of budget. And let's go to the nominees and I will explain that, right? The nominees for this category are Silent Hill 2, the remake, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is also a remake, and Persona 3 Reload, which is also a remake. This has been the year of the remakes. I also played Dead Space remake this year, but it's not a game from this year. And I feel kind of weird about making all the Game of the Year nominees for this year remakes. But honestly, Final Fantasy VII is such a banger game. Like, I think it's a completely new experience as well. Silent Hill 2, I haven't had the chance to play that because games cost money and I don't have money. So yeah, and Persona 3 Reload, I also didn't have the chance to play. But the thing is, I played the originals of these 3 games, and just looking at how they turned to be, I think they deserve to be nominated. Now the winner for this will be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So I did play Final Fantasy VII Remake. I haven't played Rebirth quite yet. Again, don't have the money just yet to get it. I will be playing it next year probably. But it's obviously the same game, right? It's just like the sequel to that game, so most of the mechanics and the graphics is the same. And if the other one is a banger, I can only guess this one it's a super banger. Of course, it deserves to win Game of the Year, right? And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, Moriko, what the hell are you talking about? Where's the Wukong game?" I think the Wukong game is trash. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't think that's a good game. It's a decent game, but I don't think it deserves Game of the Year. And a bunch of the other nominees for Game of the Year at the Game Awards are trash. By the way, I'm just gonna say, don't miss the Game Awards with me tomorrow. It's gonna be great. And let's continue. We have a couple of more awards to give this year. And it's AA Game of the Year. I know AA, it's not an actual game definition thingy, but I'm gonna use AA as the indie games that are not quite indie because they became like so popular and make a bunch of money, or they are made by a bigger studio. They feel like less indie, right? They got published on consoles. They reached like this legendary indie status with a bunch of famous streamers playing them. You know, indie games that transcend being indie and are like more widely known. This is what is AA for me. Now the nominees for this category are Bookshot Roulette, and I'm just gonna be I'm gonna be clear with this. I haven't played any of these games. I did watch a little bit of gameplay from other VTubers of these games just to get like the grasp of the games. Again, these games cost money. I wish I have enough money to play all the games that exist, but I don't. So, Bookshot Roulette, Crow Country, and Animal Well. Again, I just watched gameplay of this and I watched the trailer and I went and read a little bit about the developer and stuff like that. And I find all of these games quite interesting, quite unique on what they do. I'm actually surprised Crow Country was released on the Nintendo Switch. But at the end of the day, the winner of this category is Animal Well. From all the research I did, everyone seems to love this game. The game looks really well done. Just like positive things to say about the game. I really want to try this game. I may try to get it during the winter sale if there's like some kind of discount to try it. But for what I can see, again, I cannot judge this from myself because I didn't play it. But from what I can see, it looks really fun. It looks really unique and people are loving it. And it feels like this, like actually people put effort into this, it seems. So I think it deserves to win at least this award. And next one, we have the most important award of the year, which is the Indie Game of the Year. As I mentioned before, this doesn't have to do with views. This doesn't have to do with anything else. It's just what I think it's the best game of the games I played during this year, right? Let's see the nominees for this category. And we have The Bedroom. We have Julia Was Alone. I'm gonna include all the chapters on this entry, right? Because I'm gonna judge the game as a whole thing. Even if the release was chapter, at the end of the day, it's just like one complete game experience. And we have Flesh, Blood, and Concrete, right? So all of these games, I'm gonna take my time a little bit just to make the runtime of this stream go a little bit longer. But I really want to talk a little bit about all these games, right? I have played over 500 indie games over the years. That's about 100 indie games per year, which might not be a lot for you guys, but it's a lot for me. And for me to choose like 3 games over the other ones, it was not easy, right? It's only 3. It would be like 9 nominees if it was for me, right? And even that will feel short. I went back and watched my videos of these games. I went back and read the itch.io page, and I even went back and watched other people play these games to see like a different opinion of these games, right? Because as much as I'm playing with these awards are really biased, and I don't really care about anything. I do care. I want people that win. Maybe not this year because I'm a nobody, but maybe in like 10 years when I make the Moriko Gaming Awards or whatever, people actually feel happy that I'm giving them an award. So I want to make this serious a little bit. And I did a lot of research on this game, right? I went back to the itch.io page, I read the comments of people, like other people's opinion really matters because you can see things maybe you missed. And I want to talk a little bit about each one of these games, just a little bit, right? The Bedroom, it's one game that I found at random. I don't know if you guys remember, I just like found it, like I found all the other games. I play a little bit of it, it looks quite interesting. People wanted to see more. The developer, it's actually really kind. He answered my comments and he talked to me. He even went on stream when I was streaming this game, and he even went on stream and talked to me on how to solve these things. It has a bunch of endings, it has a bunch of convoluted stuff. The story is actually quite confusing and good. And I just like the way the game is made, like how the way it's programmed to do all these kinds of things. It's really weird. So I did quite enjoy this a lot. The developer is also such a nice person to come to the stream. Then we have Julia Was Alone from the developer everyone in this channel should know, which is Vtuber. But also Pneumonia Cute, right? And not forget about Pneumonia Cute, it's also really important. This game, it's really different to all the other games of the developer, obviously because it's a collaboration, right? But not only in how it looks, it's different in how it plays, and the story is a little bit different. And especially that it's a chapter game. I'm always a little bit cautious with chapter games because like one can be a banger, the other one can suck. But this game actually kept the quality going up all the time. Still, my favorite chapter is 1 and the last one. Because the first one is like the one that shocked me the most by how different it was. And the last one, it was really good. There's a bunch of things. Again, these are indie games. Sometimes you have a little bit, like not a lot of time to make them. You have to make compromises. I understand all of that. But I think the overall experience of Julia Was Alone and the story was really good. I liked like the boss battles and everything, the characters, the rat you can name. It was a solid experience, but also very different. And I do quite enjoy playing. This game makes me understand that I do enjoy playing games on chapters. Like I do like to go into a game, play a little, like one chapter, and it gives more time to the developer to make different things, and you can come like a week later, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month later to play the next chapter, and it keeps you entertained. And the fact that you have to remember all of these games are free, right? If I have to pay like $5 for every chapter, I will be like, oh, the developer just want to make more money, right? Chapter in it. But this is free. So obviously, it can only get better with each chapter, right? And I love it. I wish to see more games with chapters if it gives the developers more flexibility to make the games. Also, Naiko's Room, it's also another chapter game, which I'm also really enjoying a lot. You know, the developers take their time to make the best possible game ever. I love it. And obviously, I have to talk about Flesh, Blood, and Concrete, which is one of those games that I pick up thinking, oh, this is just another RPG Maker horror game. And then I just got absorbed by the whole thing. Like, my favorite indie games are the ones, like especially RPG Maker horror games, are the ones where I start playing and at some point I forget I'm playing an RPG Maker game, and I just got like so into the story, so into everything that's happening. I get into the character. I was like, oh no, this is gonna happen. What's gonna happen? You get too into it. Flesh, Blood, and Concrete. It's a great game. I love the title of the game. I love the story of the game. I love the implications of the story of the game. So I think I talk enough. Now the winner of this category is... It will be Flesh, Blood, and Concrete. And again, not that I did not like the other games. Again, this was a really hard choice. Not only to choose the 3 nominees, but to choose between the 3 of them. I have to go really deep into watching my own videos to like which one I did enjoy the most, what other people think about the games, right? This was not a light decision, believe me, it was really hard to make. But I think this game, it's like when you play Witch's House, or when you play like Misao, or when you play the first A House for Alessa, when you play Mad Father, right? It's like, this is one of a kind. There's no way people can replicate this kind of thing, right? Even if you make sequels, like, you know, A House for Alessa 2, A House for Alessa 3, I still love A House for Alessa 1 the most, because it's like one of the things that I think it cannot be replicated, not only by the developer, but by other developers. It's like, I'm not gonna be able to experience this thing again, and that's kind of sad, but I'm glad I got to experience it once. I think that's Flesh, Blood, and Concrete. It really makes you think at the end of the day, right? It's graphic, but not too graphic. It's like, it leaves you thinking, and sometimes I'm just like laying on my bed before going to sleep, and I was like, yeah, Flesh, Blood, and Concrete. What a game, man. It is good, and I think deserves, like, if you haven't played, go play it, or watch my video, whatever you like, but please experience this game somehow. So that's it. And that will be all for the Moriko Media Awards 2024. Hope you guys like it. Now I can read the comments. If you guys want to tell me something, now it's the time to let me know in the comments. Hello everyone that came to the stream. I couldn't say hello because I didn't want to interrupt the flow of the awards, right? But now you can talk to me if you want to. And I have some words I have to say before I finish. So the stream is not quite over yet. But first of all, I want to give a round of applause for all the winners of these awards. They truly deserve their victory. Yeah, let's go. And then again, this was something I took my time doing. It was very scuffed. I forgot to put the music on at the beginning. I forgot to remove the chat at the beginning. I was doing my very best. I skipped sleep for a couple of days just to make this. Again, maybe the stream, it's not as polished as I would like to be, but most of the time went into actually researching for the winners, because I actually want to give an award to something I do believe it deserves an award, right? And I didn't give this. You might be thinking, oh, this is really biased. It's just because Moriko likes this player, or Moriko likes this developer, or Moriko likes this Hikidachi. No, it's actually I'm not biased whatsoever. Yeah, maybe on the waifu award, but shut up. That's called my waifu award. Of course, I'm gonna be biased. Yeah, I make the presentation as an edited video. I think that was like the fastest way to do this, because syncing everything would be really hard for me to do live on stream. So yeah, I did that. Again, this is not biased. Maybe a little bit on some things like the Vtuber and stuff like that, but like for the serious awards, it was not biased whatsoever, and I promise next year it's not gonna be biased whatsoever. It's just the first year I wanted to make it like as a joke, so I could win something, because I will never win anything in my life. But yeah, if you win something in this, or if someone you like won something on this, yeah, feel proud, because I do truly believe it deserves to win something, and maybe my opinion doesn't matter to anyone. But it was great. And again, all of this is an endorsement from me. So if you want to watch an anime, a movie, a comic, play a game, follow a developer, all of the winners in here, they have my endorsement. Again, sorry about my voice, I'm also a little bit sick. But yeah, I'm glad I got to make this award show this year. This is something that I wanted to make since the first year I was Vtubing, but I was like, I'm gonna do it next year when I have more viewers. I'm gonna do it next year when I have more viewers. Well, I came to the conclusion that I will never have more viewers, and might as well just do it right now, right? I don't know if I'm gonna have the chance to do it next year, but I pretty much will like to do it. And I promise next year it's gonna be better. It's gonna be like a better edition. It's gonna be a better editing. I mean, not edition. I'm gonna make like maybe less awards, because I feel like the music awards is not. It doesn't mean as much. If you guys like this, I would love if you guys could like the video, because it will motivate me to actually do more of this next year. I'm gonna keep tabs on everything I do and I watch and I experience this next year to make the best Moriko. I don't know if they're gonna be called the Moriko Media Awards, because it's MMA at the end of the day, and I know that sounds kind of weird. So it's probably gonna be the Moriko Gaming Awards MGA. I think it sounds a little bit better, right? For next year, I'm gonna switch it to Moriko Game Awards 2025, hopefully. And I'm gonna include more categories for indie developers, more categories for indie games, because I really want to celebrate indie games more than other kind of stuff, because that's kind of like my thing that I do most of the year. I'm gonna be like the developer that grew the most, the best upcoming developer with only one game and stuff like that. Right? I want to celebrate more people, and of course I want to celebrate my fans too. So it will be nice to have. So I promise that if I'm not dead, I will do the Moriko Game Awards next year too. Hopefully you can enjoy it. You can like watch a bunch of categories, and any comment you want to leave, please leave it on this video. Any like you want to like. If you dislike it because you think my opinions are dumb. I appreciate any kind of feedback. And most of all, I just want to make this video to round up the entire year of things I did. I know there's a couple of weeks left, but it's just the end of the year, right? So I wanted to like, oh, I did all of these things. I played all of these games. I watched all of these movies. I spent time with all these people, watching these other people, playing these games made by these people. So it's kind of a good reminder that I'm alive and doing things, even if my numbers don't reflect it. I'm kind of glad I'm still doing things here. So thank you guys for watching, and of course, if I could give you an award just for watching this, I would. Actually, I'm gonna do it. You can have one. And I think that will be all for today. I know this was a short stream, but it's like a special one. Hope you guys like it. Hope you come back and watch it every now and then. And yeah, I really don't have anything else to say. I don't know how to finish these awards, but again, I will see you tomorrow for the Game Awards stream, hopefully, which we can watch slightly worse people, because we know my opinions are right, but they're gonna give the big awards and stuff like that. And there's gonna be a bunch of gaming news that we can celebrate anyway, so let's pray for a better Moriko Media Awards next year, and thank you guys for watching. I will see you later.